Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches! Episode 91. Tonight we are reviewing Captain America: Civil War.
Which I repeatedly, when we discussed this movie, was calling it Winter's War. That's different.
What is Winter's War?
That's the Huntsman that we saw last week.
The Huntsman Winter's War. The last one was Captain America Winter Soldier.
And then now it's Captain America Civil War. Huntsman.
Winter's
Civil Soldier. Anyway.
April really wanted to see this movie. Well, I was kind of indifferent. Because to be honest, I'm a little fatigued with the Marvel universe.
You're more over superhero movies than I am, and I am getting over them. So, whoa.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
This movie was fucking boring.
The first hour 45, real boring. Yeah. Then it kind of picks up. We were having fun when they were all fighting.
Okay, it picks up when Paul Rudd shows up.
Paul Rudd, the shining star, steals every single frame that he is in.
Yep.
The big culminating fight between all of them felt like Smash Brothers or something. It was like, and you'll be Spider-Man, and I'll be Vision, and he'll be Falcon, and they'll all fight, and it'll be crazy. Wouldn't it be crazy to see Iron Man and Captain America fight? What? I mean, it was like so silly.
Yes. I guess on one hand, this movie represents like what most kids like
want to see.
I'm Iron Man, and you're Spider. I'm gonna beat you because I have Spider-Man.
Like, no, but I have laser beams. Boo! Yeah.
Like, I guess that like makes sense now, but
that's like 20% of this movie. The other 80% is boring political dialogue with two characters not in costumes, talking in a conference room.
Once again, they're like, "Oh, you're a superhero, so we have to rein you in."
This discussion of like, are you a superhero or you're a vigilante? I just don't care anymore.
I don't care anymore.
It's like, can you just
every
be cool?
fucking movie?
Can you just like look cool and like fight cool stuff and then just like be rad? Is that too much to ask for? Instead of these long, politically drawn out scenes where there's like real veiled allegories for, like pro-choice, like small government versus big government issues. Like, there's a lot of like, didn't come here to watch the news, guys.
Nope.
Came here to watch a superhero movie. I mean, at one point, Captain Rogers. At one point, Captain America literally says, "But don't you want your right to choose?" And then there's like a long pause.
And then like the biggest problem for me too was that like, okay, so the whole premise is that they're torn in half over politics, and they start going for each other, which, spoiler alert, ends up being like the big like villain's like evil plan was that he wanted to destroy them from within.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The Avengers PR was bad because innocent bystanders kept dying, right?
Yeah.
So that was already happening before the bad guy set off the bomb at the UN.
Yes.
So was he just like using political unrest in general and then like putting fuel on the fire? Was that his plan?
I think so.
His plan seemed very overtly complicated.
I mean, yes and no. I think, like, first of all, I guess he was like a
comrade? Or
commodore or something? Colonel? I don't know.
He was in the military.
He was in the military of some sort.
Was he German? Or Russian? He was Russian.
Okay, well,
his family lived there, where they died.
Yeah, and
Sokovia. Oh God, there was a lot to keep track of.
Well, also they like make up places, so I don't know.
Right, I don't know if that's a real place.
It also seems like there's like a strangely skewed amount of people in this world that are from like Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the girl that controlled, like, things with her mind.
Scarlet Witch.
Sure.
Who's not a mutant.
She,
Well, she's from Russia.
Sure.
Like, in Avengers 2, she's, like, in Russia hanging out.
Did I see Avengers 2?
We didn't see it together, so I don't know.
I don't think I did.
That explains... Robot and James Spader's the voice.
Nope.
and then the city is falling and they have to catch it.
That's literally anyone.
Yeah. No, but like literally the city
Oh.
is falling. It's like a big like
That's what they kept referencing.
yes.
Sokorov or whatever.
Sokovia.
Yeah. Oh, so you didn't see it. Okay.
I don't
so
think I did.
that would be
which explains why I was
very
so
confusing.
confused
See, now,
this
I was
entire movie.
pretty confused and I saw it.
Okay.
But wow, I can't imagine. Okay, so you wouldn't have known who Vision was?
Nope.
I mean, I still don't really know who Vision is. It's very confusing. It's like, so basically, they wanted to give Paul Bettany a job where he wasn't just a voice for Tony Stark, right? So they combined.
Oh.
That was Paul Bettany. So, like, what happened was in Avengers, Tony Stark, I forget how, but he, like, makes the internet sentient, and it, like, comes alive, and it makes itself, and then it's a robot, and it's James Spader, and then through, like, one of the magic crystals from Guardians of the Galaxy, they make Vision, and there's a lot. There's a lot.
What annoyed me about this movie too was, so it was like 3/4 of it, I would say, was talky politics, boring shit.
Yeah.
Or 2/3, let's say. And then the other third was them fighting each other.
Yeah.
Which was a lot like a Superman movie to me. Where it's like, let's destroy this Berlin airport
Right.
just so that, like...
The only thing
huh?
I would say that I liked more about this than, say, Batman versus Superman is they were having fun. And they were working as a team. When everyone comes together, and everyone's fighting everyone else, and Spider-Man's there, and so-and-so's there, and oh my god, and they're all like making jokes.
Sure.
And it's during the day.
That's fair.
And they seem to be like, well, you do this, and then I'll do that, and
Right.
we'll work
And
together,
we'll work together.
and we
That's
have
true.
a plan.
That's
and so
true.
I was like, oh, this is silly.
Fair.
That's all I'll say. Better.
It still was boring to me.
That fight, you were laughing a lot.
I laughed at Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd was
And like a
great.
couple of things here, I thought Spider-Man was annoying.
He was annoying. Remember when Paul Rudd turned into like Godzilla?
Yes.
It was amazing.
I mean, it was like Paul Rudd stole this movie for me.
And he's in like
But also,
10 minutes?
yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
But also, what I don't get about this movie was how many people were in it for a movie not labeled The Avengers.
There were so many people and so many characters that we had to remember from past movies,
yep.
current movies.
And they didn't, unlike other ones, they didn't do any kind of flashbackies.
There was no flashbackies. We had to remember Captain America,
Yep.
Bucky,
Yep.
Iron Man,
Yep.
Hawkeye,
Yep.
Falcon, Ant-Man, Black Panther, Vision, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, War Machine, Black
Who's
Widow,
War Machine?
Don Cheadle.
Oh.
I mean, it was just... It was...
That's like 10 people. The only time that I feel like it's necessary, I mean, I guess that was the whole point of this, but like, it shouldn't have been called like Avengers Civil War.
Well, Civil War is a comic book storyline that mainly revolves around Captain America.
Gotcha.
From my understanding. I could be wrong, but that's my general understanding. So that was like a Captain America arc.
Gotcha.
And in the comics, see, I was kind of excited at the end because in the comics, spoilers for the comics and possibly the movie, Captain America dies at some point. And Bucky takes over as the new Captain America. And I was like, oh shit, Chris Evans keeps talking about how he wants to quit acting
I
and
thought,
shit.
yeah, right? I thought that was happening.
So I was like, oh shit, like, are they gonna kill off Captain America? That would be kind of crazy if, like, when Iron Man and Bucky are fighting and they accidentally kill Cap, and oh no, and then they have to come back together because,
Right.
oh, they both killed their friend. Like, yeah, that would have been great.
It would have been a lot better.
Not what happened.
No.
Not what happened.
I think they wanted to leave their options open.
Oh, certainly.
Um,
It's risky to kill a superhero.
Yes. But so they left it with basically like, with Chris Evans being like, I'm here if you need me.
Don't forget I'm from the 40s. I sent you a flip phone. Just in general in these movies, there's so much baggage.
Yes.
With how many, it's like, if you miss one movie, you're like done.
You're like, who?
I don't even know what's happening
And
anymore.
that was, I
It's
guess,
like,
what happened with
it's
me.
like, it's kind of becoming like a soap opera.
Yes.
Because it's like, oh shit, I missed Tuesday's episode. I don't know what's going on at all. It's very like the Avengers, Melrose Place. And it's just like, banana. You know, they're all like in the same like apartment complex.
Yep.
Everyone's sleeping with everybody else. I mean, I would definitely watch that.
Oh my god.
movie.
Wait, no, it's like Friends.
It's like, so I have to say, I'm still mad that they haven't announced a Black Widow movie.
It's unacceptable.
Have they and I don't know about it? It's
No.
It's like ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, particularly because
Black Panther is getting a movie.
because
Where's
he has
Black
a penis.
Widow's movie? Like, I'm so upset.
I am too, particularly because I usually don't like Scarlett Johansson.
She's great as Black Widow.
She is great as aside from Paul Rudd, she's always my favorite part of these movies.
Oh, absolutely. Well, she's totally badass, and I don't know a ton about her powers, but the whole time, like, she has no armor.
No.
Seemingly no armor, and she's fighting people with, like, full-on mech, bodysuit, metal, whatevers, and I was like, is this just sexist, or is that her character? Like, what's happening?
What do you mean sexist?
Like, well, we can't cover up that face.
Oh,
And
I
that
see.
hair.
We can't give her like a...
She can't be in, like, an outfit. Like,
What are her powers? I thought she was just like a super badass spy.
She is. She can, like... well, it's funny, because in this movie, she really came off as, like, the Avengers therapist, because, like, literally every other scene, she'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. If you're lost, do you want to talk about it? Should we talk about your sad feelings? And you're like, am I watching a superhero movie right now? What's happening? There was a lot of times in the action when the way it was filmed or the way that they moved or were jumping was, like, silly.
For some reason, it didn't feel...
There was something, like, cartoony.
It was.
About the way people were moving. I don't know if it was, like, a new style of, like, CG or green screen or what was happening.
Silly.
I laughed often.
I laughed a lot, just at like how stupid they looked. Like the mechanics of it, was just like this looks just dumb.
It was so not possible.
Yeah.
Like I get it, they're superhuman and they can do shit, but there was things that were just so not physically possible that it took you out and you would be like, what? That's just silly.
Yeah. I don't know, but I also felt like it was just like
there was like a lot of times where I was just like, like what's happening? This is silly.
This looks dumb.
Which while it was dumb, I also was like, yay, I'm having a silly time at a superhero movie. Like, so there was a lot less scenes in the dark. There's a lot less scenes in the rain. Like,
yes. I mean, I guess like I would rather it be like fun and light than like dark and sinister.
Right. They took so much time to set up like which side of the argument people were gonna fall on, right? Which was like, okay, you're setting it up. I get it. But then it was boring, but I get it. But then it was so undercut because anytime there was any actual tension between them or action between them, they'd be like, sorry. Yeah. Or they'd be like, we're still friends, right?
We're still friends, right? Depends on how hard you hit me.
Well, then you're obviously not going to kill each other, so like, why do I care?
That's
tension.
What I didn't, like that's why it was so boring to me. Yeah. People would get angry at me or whatever, but like, all I want is like some Pierce Brosnan, James Bond storylines with like a superhero.
All I want is some Sean Connery, James Bond storylines.
Fair.
Like, when's the last time, someone was just trying to rob a bank? Or, like, steal some stuff?
Right? Like, I just don't understand. Why can't it be, like...
it's like, and I'm stealing this submarine for nefarious reasons. Like, why does it have to be earth-ending? And it's fatiguing. Like, on top of having to know all the characters' backstories, see all the movies, see all the TV shows, keep track of it all.
Yep.
Also, every time we watch one of these movies, the world's gonna end, and it's like, Jesus Christ. I just want it to be like, this week in Captain America's life,
exactly.
He saves a cat out of a tree. Yeah. Or something.
And every now and then, there's a big movie where they all have to get together because the threat is so fucking big that it's like, holy shit, you guys, all hands on deck. Like, save that for the Avengers, which comes out once every 4 years.
Although, weren't you excited? So at the end, the whole thing is like, you find out there's more than one Winter Soldier. And there's 5 of them and they're like cryo frozen, and I was like, oh geez, here comes the fight scene where they have to fight all fucking 5 Winter Soldiers and it's gonna be real long. Oh, they're all just dead? Yes! Like, were you excited?
I was, because I was like, oh thank God we don't have to deal with that.
I was like, cool. So that just cut like 20 minutes out of the movie.
But that is insane. The fact that we're excited that they don't have to fight a villain because we're so tired of this movie and tired of these like fight scenes with like other superpower people, that's dumb.
I did like the one of the action scenes I really did like.
Okay.
When Bucky is escaping and none of them have their suits.
Yes.
So, like, nobody's prepared, and he's all, like, super soldiering out, and they all have to try and fight him, and it was like, oh, there's actual stakes.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. And they had to, like, improvise and fight in a different way, and I was like, rad.
I agree. I think that was my favorite scene.
So there was certain moments where I was like, I'm having fun, but it's 2.5 hours.
Exactly.
There
Being
was
able to-
so much, like, my parents died, I'm avenging you. Can we think of something else?
Right? That's what I'm so over this. I don't have time for this plotline anymore.
Can we think of something, and maybe this is comic books in general, maybe that's how it isn't in them, but like 3 separate characters on a vengeful mission because their families have been killed in the same movie, and one of them's the bad guy, so you're like, who am I rooting for? This seems real weird.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I wonder what my threshold is gonna be when I'm just gonna be like, fuck it, I'm not seeing any more superhero movies.
I'm close.
I'm like right on that razor's edge. We saw the trailer for Doctor Strange and I was like, I would absolutely never watch this movie again.
No, never.
But that being said, there were moments I enjoyed. There were.
Sure.
There was moments that
There
I
were
enjoyed.
moments I enjoyed, but
It's
like
buried in a 2.5 hour running time. But there were moments I enjoyed.
yeah. Like
Ugh. Cheers. What's the next holiday gonna be? Arbor Day?
St. Patrick's Day, the movie, I think.